and I keep trying to figure out which one's going to work for him most.
Yeah,
I thought it was the Ryu.
I
I mean,
did
his
too,
Bowser's
actually.
very solid too, but just by comparison, I like the Ryu the most. But he's up to stay Cloud, so hold to see how he does with this. Chavo very, very well versed in this matchup between Zion, Egbert, multiple other Clouds throughout the other region's hero. So he's very well practiced in this. Let's see what Zoo can do about it. But he's getting pressured very heavily right now on Shield. Still pretty even game though. Opting and both. There's been a lot of people starting on Town and City today.
Yeah, it's interesting. Definitely, I would give the edge to Bayonetta on this stage. You would think her combos would connect earlier, and that would be detrimental to Zoo here.
Okay, so luckily for Zoo, he still had his limit up B there to be able to make that back. Going for a falling up air to try and get out of it, like a little combo breaker and put some pressure on Bayonetta. But he's going to get air dodge right there. He doesn't have a jump, and that's going to be it. Chavo's going to take the first stock.
Yeah, the back air pressure there was ridiculous throughout, what, 2 or 3 of them?
She has the ability to, like, that's one of her, she has a lot of good frame data moves, but that's, like, bar none one of her best ones. Just being able to frame trap people with back air alone. Yeah, like, it's okay, I air dodge, cool, but unless you, like, fast fall and somehow make it out. All right, he read that jump and read the DI up too, but didn't get clipped by the rest of that fair there.
Yeah, we're living. And yeah, the amount of kill power it has on top of all that is a really good option.
I feel like it was definitely an accident by Chavo on the neutral B, but maybe he was doing it just as a little mind game with him, trying to mess with him.
Maybe so.
And Chavo, you know, I'm going to continue to talk about him because he actually hears everything we say on the mic all the time.
It sounds like he's telling us it is a mind game.
I'm telling you right now, Chavo's going to go for an up smash. That wasn't even actually me joking. I knew that was coming.
All right.
He didn't opt to try and catch him at the air dodge at all prior to that. It's like, this is the time. This is where he's waiting for it because every time Zoo was in that situation, he either jumped or he was a little aggressive and he caught some witch times for it. That was setting up for it.
So he had the conditioning throughout the whole match. It's really cool to see that over a period of time develop, and then the
really good players end up doing that multi-game conditioning. They're like, all right, I'm setting you up now in game 1 to believe that I'll never punish this, and then game 2 they punish you for something every time. And you're like, like that's why you'll see some game 2 bodies, like you'll see some JV3s. But right now, opting to go Bowser, and he seems to regularly, like when the counter pick comes to FD, has been opting to go Bowser more.
And I do agree with this. I know Chavo has had some struggles with grapplers, and Zoo's Bowser definitely tournament ready. He's played it here before. As we say, that almost carried off the top there, but I think he definitely has the tools to take this one.
As long as we tech those.
As long as we tech.
And Chavo just being relentless off stage, not trying to let Zoo breathe and get comfortable. Because right now, what he wants to do is he wants to just completely silence any type of like aggression that he can go after. I messed my words up a little bit there, but he wants to make sure that he puts so much pressure on Zoo right now that he feels like it's almost hard to breathe, like he can't make it back.
Right.
And that's a good thing to do while you're up a stock, especially against a grappler, because they want to be in your face the whole time. But now you have the room to just play around, and that is going to not be the stock yet. A little bit closer it might have, but.
I mean, we even saw Chavo turning Zoo's up throws into his favor, you know, up being out of, or wish twisting out of what Zoo planned to be his own combo.
Yeah, wish twist being like the best combo breaker in the game. Like, even though Luigi's Nair and all that stuff is good, you don't get nearly as much as Bayonetta does off of that wish twist. And right now is a very bad spot for Zoo because he is behind a lot. And even if he manages to get, like, he has to seal it out with a up throw to up air, like, as soon as possible, because then maybe he could still run this back with 109%. Just barely almost killing. If he had a little bit more range there, might have killed. But now Chavo closer to death range. Bayonetta is very light, but that's not going to kill just yet, especially because you're center stage. You have nothing to play around with and no platforms in there either.
Right. And Bowser usually not opting to go to this stage just because he has such trouble landing. And those platforms aren't going to help him out like they will on Battlefield or Smashville.
I think my guess is that because he was playing Cloud, that's going to be it. Chavo taking game 2. I think because he played Cloud before, Chavo banned triplats because he didn't want to allow him to have Cloud to go to triplats.
That's kind of unfortunate for Zoo, both of his characters favoring those platforms.
Yeah, I think for Zoo, something like say the Ryu. When you have triplats banned, now you have Town and City available to you. But he's gonna so he's gonna decide to go back to the Cloud. Gonna give Chavo very well versed. Like, you know, when it comes to Bayonetta, you have to deal with grapplers on a regular. One of the biggest ways to beat Bayonetta is punish those witch times, punish her over aggression, and get those grabs. But you know, in order to win, you have to practice those bad matchups. You have to practice those bad play styles. And Chavo was approaching that second game flawlessly. He was making sure that he wasn't getting grabbed at all. So I kind of like the fact that he switched back to Cloud because he wasn't really getting grabbed, so now he can abuse frame data instead and that disjointed hitbox.
Right. Not to mention the comfort. You know, I'm sure Zoo has logged way more time on this Cloud than Bowser. Bowser being a counter pick for him, Cloud being his.
Well, Zoo is a bit of a lab monster. So like he has a good diverse selection of characters, like you said before. So, but I think just as a whole, so it didn't really get too much else. It just opted to go for a jab there. Might be a little bit of nerves, or maybe it's just he was opting to save his limit, didn't really blow and get some extra damage there.
Yep.
Especially against Bayonetta, you don't want to give up your ability to recover. Right now, Chavo just he's at 52%. Not opting to go for an up air there. It's not going to kill it just yet. A little bit more will.
There we go, limit coming through.
What do you think Zoot needs to do right now to put this back into his favor? Because he is very behind right now in the set. What do you think he has to do to mentally compose himself to run this back?
You know, I think this may sound kind of basic, but a little bit more of a bait and punish type deal. Chavo, an extremely aggressive Bayonetta. It's been working in his favor all set, but it seems like Zoot's just trying to beat him in his own game.
I agree. Like when you get too when you overcommit to Bayonetta, when you're always in Bayonetta's face, you're gonna lose. Like Bayonetta's gonna win 90% of the time when you're constantly getting in her face. Even with Cloud, if you get good reads with Cloud though, and you punish her in the right spots, he's gonna get a lot more off of it. But right now, he's gonna see a little bit reckless with that up smash. If it was a roll read though, it looked like genius.
Yes.
All right, let's see what he can do about Bayonetta's recovery. Optin just it's very scary because you go out there, you blow a limit, and if Chavo manages to get back down, you're going to eat a witch twist and you just die.
Done.
This might be it, and it is. Chavo taking a stock at 37% on Game 3 against Cloud. Managed it. He sniped out the jump towards his mid-screen. He was able to carry him all the way up the top, and he had a lot of rage, so he was able to kill him. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are watching in-stream who are very happy about that. So, Bayonetta, Chavo, not Bayonetta, is going to win that 3-0. Good stuff to Zoo. I think that, like we said, he needs to slow it down a little bit more. You have to play to you can't play a Bayonetta strength and get in her face. That's what most characters in the cast do, but especially a character like Cloud, where if you don't have limit and you constantly overcommit to getting into Bayonetta's face, all she needs is like one small hitbox to push you just far enough out. His recovery is just as basic as Little Mac at that point.
Yeah,
but
honestly. And we did see that a bit from Zoo there. After his first stock was taken in the last game, he came back quite a bit. He started spacing out his aerials, drifting away from Chavo and punishing aggressive approaches. We saw that a little bit. But then Chavo ended up getting in, and
yeah, once you get into Chavo's playground, like it's not fun.
Yeah.